We live in an ever-changing world, yet we are still using a traditional public education system designed at the turn of the 20th century to meet the needs of the Industrial Revolution. We have instant access to information, yet most students still memorize meaningless facts and spend class time passively listening to lectures. So it is no surprise that our public education system fails many students. Traditional education just doesn't meet the current needs of students, nor does it prepare them for the 21st century. Internationally, 8th graders in the United States ranked 28th in math and 17th in science. In 2007, more than 6 million young people between 16 and 24 years old dropped out of school entirely. Yet thousands of students have benefited from an innovative public school in Tucson, Arizona. At Hermosa School, the goal is increasing student achievement and creating 21st century learners.
There's a premium in the global economy and in the jobs in the global economy in two types of skills. One is non-routine thinking, and the other is complex communications.
The schools have to set their students up with a set of skills and a set of capacities to allow them to figure things out on their own.
And it doesn't matter whether you're talking about preschool or graduate school. It's helping people understand that they can use their talents and their abilities, their knowledge, to better not only themselves, but to better the society and the nation in which they live.
We used to develop in students a passion to learn all the right answers. We want 21st century students to have a passion for asking new questions.
Most people believe that people learn by starting off with small, simple things and slowly building up that simple understanding to slightly more complex understanding, to even more complex understanding, until you can get to something that's really interesting and meaningful. This is utterly wrong.
It's much more about evaluating content, sorting through it, and critically examining it than just the old rote memorization.
Basically, the transformation is one from a focus upon teaching to one on learning.
Every student in the 21st century needs to be able to critically think, problem solve, collaborate, communicate, innovate, be globally aware, be self-directed, and be technology literate. Those are the new outcomes of the 21st century.
Hermosa students use 21st century skills daily. Using a Montessori educational model, Hermosa combines the current best practices in education, neuroscience, and learning theory to create an excelling model of education.
Maria Montessori really got essentially everything right, so far as I can see. She anticipated so much of what we know about neuroscience, brain development, optimal models of education. It really is a fantastic educational approach.
When used correctly, this model encourages critical thinkers who are primed to become the innovators of tomorrow. People like Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page.
In the 2004 interview with Barbara Walters, Mr. Page discussed what factors influenced his success. He replied, "We both went to Montessori school, and I think it was part of that training, of not following rules and orders, and being self-motivated, questioning what's going on in the world, doing things a little bit differently." Will Wright, inventor of The Sims, said, "Montessori taught me the joy of discovery. It's all about learning on our terms, rather than a teacher explaining stuff to you. SimCity comes right out of Montessori."
My name is Jeff Bezos. I studied electrical engineering and computer science, and my current job, I'm the founder and CEO of Amazon.com.
Mr. Bezos states, "Discovery mentality is precisely the environment that Montessori seeks to create." Peter Sims, writing for the Wall Street Journal, reports that former Montessori students showed up in an extensive 6-year study about the way creative business executives think. In surveys and interviews of over 3,000 executives and entrepreneurs, a number of the innovators also went to Montessori schools, where they learned to follow their curiosity, says study co-author Hal Gregerson.
At Hermosa, 95% of 8th grade students meet or exceed Arizona academic math standards. 100% meet standards in science and reading. Hermosa is proud to be in the scant 16% of Arizona schools ranked as excelling. Hermosa has been able to train and hire highly qualified teachers, improve instruction, and significantly improve student achievement. But these academic gains and essential 21st century skills are at risk if Hermosa cannot receive the funding it needs. Hermosa receives only $5,700 from the state per student for an entire school year. That is nearly half of what many schools across the country receive, with the average state funding at $11,000 per student for the school year. And some public programs in other states pay as much as $25,000 per student. While Arizona is known to rank at the bottom in education funding, Hermosa receives even less money from the state than district public schools, 25% less. As a public charter school, Hermosa receives no funding for site acquisition, developing, building, or maintaining facilities. Hermosa has creatively found ways around this funding challenge. The art teacher uses outside space to teach. Students also take advantage of the outdoors since funding does not allow for lunchroom or assembly space. The minimal amount of state funds must be used wisely to support facility rental and maintenance, teacher salaries, and Hermosa's entire operational budget. Yet the low amount of state funding is not enough to sustain this excellent program. We need your help. Without community support, Hermosa will be faced with cuts that will undermine our progress and make it impossible to continue our work. We ask you to help make the needed investment to turn out active, 21st century learners, students who can thrive and succeed, and build a community that can take on the challenges of the future. Help Hermosa lead the way.